is an important part of transporting hazardous materials safely. Non-bulk hazardous materials are generally shipped in what's called performance-oriented packaging, POP, or UN packaging. The standards for this kind of packaging are quite stringent, which make it very unlikely that a hazmat package will leak during transportation. You'll see the manufacturer's UN mark on these types of packages. This indicates that the package conforms to United Nations standards. On most non-bulk packages, the shipper must display a proper shipping name, ID number, and the name and address of the shipper or receiver. Other markings that you may see include this side up arrows, ORMD, which stands for Other Regulated Materials and represents a consumer commodity, and marine pollutant. All package markings must be clearly visible and printed in English. Markings must be in a contrasting color and printed on the package or attached to the surface in the form of a label, sign, or tag. They must also be placed apart from other package markings, such as advertising, that could substantially reduce their effectiveness. On bulk packages, the material's ID number must be displayed a certain way. If the bulk container holds less than 1,000 gallons, the ID number must be marked on two opposite sides. If the container holds 1,000 gallons or more, the ID number must be marked on both sides and both ends. The ID number marking can be printed in black on an orange panel, displayed across the center of the primary hazard placard, or on a plain white square-on-point configuration, the same size as the placard. In addition to the ID number, the name of the tank owner must be marked on a portable tank. The material's proper shipping name must also be marked on two opposite sides. If you're transporting a cargo tank carrying a Class II gas, the proper shipping name or common name must be marked on each side and each end. Generally, when a bulk package, such as a portable tank or cargo tank, is transported, the ID number for the hazardous material it contains must be marked on all four sides of the package, or in some cases, on the transport vehicle. An ID number is required to be marked on all four sides of a transport vehicle or a freight container for most non-bulk hazardous material shipments of 8,820 pounds or more when all packages are loaded at the same facility and marked with the same shipping name and ID number. Similarly, when 2,205 pounds or more of non-bulk packages containing poisonous by inhalation material in hazard zone A or B, all with the same proper shipping name and ID number, are loaded into a transport vehicle or freight container at a single loading facility, the ID number is required to be marked on all four sides of the vehicle or container. As you can see by the different ID marking requirements, how a hazardous material is packaged and marked is critical to its safe transport. That's just one more reason why this training is so important. Hazard warning labels, which provide an immediate warning of the hazards involved, are required on most non-bulk packages. It's the shipper's responsibility to select and attach the proper labels. Some materials have more than one label because they present multiple hazards. Labels are placed on the surface of a package near the shipping name. If the package is smaller than the label, or if it's a cylinder or an odd shape, a label may be placed on a tag that is securely attached to the package. Hazard warning labels must be clearly visible, so they're not confused with other package markings. The regulations say that you shouldn't accept a hazardous materials shipment unless the required labels are affixed to the packages being shipped. As with markings and placards, labels can help you identify a hazmat shipment and the hazards it presents. Placards are similar to labels in that they also serve as a hazard warning. They must be displayed on each side and each end of bulk packages and transport vehicles. At the scene of an accident or incident, placards help emergency response teams identify what types of hazardous materials are present in a transport vehicle or a freight container. so that they know the appropriate actions to take to keep the public safe from harm. The required placards can be found in one of two placard tables in the hazardous materials regulations. Table 1 lists the categories of materials that require placards, regardless of how much is being transported. Table 2 lists the categories of materials that must be placarded if the gross weight of all Table 2 materials being transported in non-bulk packages equals or exceeds 1,001 pounds. Note that if two or more categories of materials from Table 2 are shipped together, a dangerous placard may be used instead of several individual placards. However, if one of these categories of materials weighs 2,205 pounds or more and is loaded at one location, the placard specified in Table 2 for that category must be used, and separate placards must be used for any other categories which may be present. And certain materials with more than one hazard must be placarded to show multiple hazards. While there are specific standards for the size, color, and design of placards, the most important and obvious requirement is visibility. A placard must be clearly visible from any direction it faces and must be securely attached to the vehicle or container. As a driver, it's your responsibility to display the placards you're given and to make sure they're the correct placards for the hazardous materials you're transporting. Placards must be left in place until your vehicle is unloaded or the container is cleaned and purged of any hazardous material.
Being aware of that, you're picking up a hazmat shipment, it's a dangerous item that we're hauling, let's take care of it properly. And the education is what we hope prevents an accident from happening.
And we can go right down the checkoff list, and that tells us everything we need to know to cover ourselves. And if you follow that checkoff list for every hazardous material pickup, you'll be fine.